Humsienk sent me out this inverter when it first came out. This is the 12 kilowatt version. After doing the EV charging test, I found out it can only do 10 kilowatt continuously. If you're interested in seeing that video, I'll leave it somewhere in the video or in the description below. On the Humsienk website, they did update the description to say 10 kilowatt continuously, but the title still say 12 kilowatt, which might be confusing to some buyer. They do plan to rebrand this 12 kilowatt to 10 kilowatt once the old batch run out. So be advised, if you plan to buy this inverter, it can only do 10 kilowatt continuously. This is a temporary setup. I am using 6 gauge stranded copper wire. You got L1, L2, followed by neutral, then ground. I am using 2 hot wire for the battery cable. And I have a total of 7 395 watt bifacial solar panel that are roof mounted. 7 in series on the first one, 7 in series in the second one. For this test, I just mount the Humsienk inverter close to one of my 12 kilowatt inverter and just pigtail everything, the AC wire as well as the solar wire. One thing I like to do when I have multiple string of solar wire, for example, you can see those first wire, I just mark them as usual, but the second set, I add a yellow to them to have a visual differential between each set of the wire. So this is the second set of negative. This is the primary. This is the primary positive. This is the secondary positive. The AC wire come to the sub panel. This is the only breaker that's on right now. I usually use both of them. This usually go to the primary 12 kilowatt inverter, and this usually go to the secondary one. Since I'm doing a test, I switch off the secondary one and only the primary one go to the Humsienk inverter. All those three breaker go to 3 different transfer switch where I can toggle each individual breaker in the house between grid and solar. So right now, power is coming from the Humsienk inverter and it feed all those 3 breaker. Each of them go to one transfer switch. This panel also have a 60 amp breaker that go to a 50 amp EV charger. This is what one of the transfer switch look like. You can see I labeled them. Transfer switch number 3, which correspond to this circuit breaker that also have transfer switch number 3 on it. And if I open this, you can see all the transfer switches are up, which signify it is on generator. In this case, it is running on the inverter via solar power. And I can switch it to all of them to the middle, or if I switch all of them down, it's gonna go to grid power. And I can control each circuit individually. It's currently 1324, and you can see PV 5200 watt is coming in. Let me show you what's running in the house. This is a dehumidifier in the basement. The washing machine as well as the dryer is running. The fridge is running. First air cleaner, second air cleaner, a 10,000 BTU window AC unit, as well as all the lights and phantom load. I'm currently drying some clothes and the inverter is pulling around 7,600 watt. I saw it as high as 8 kilowatt. When the element in the dryer kicks on, it goes that high. And once they turn off, it goes around 2000 watt for everything else in the house. The element in the dryer just kick off and you can see everything else in the house is consuming around 2700 watt. During this test, I kept the house load under 10 kilowatt because I know this inverter will go into overload protection if I go above 10 kilowatt. If you're interested in seeing how this inverter performed when I was charging my EV, I will leave link in the description below. In my situation, I am able to run the entire house on this inverter because most of the time the house is consuming around 2500 watt. But once I have to dry clothes or use the EV charger, I would have to watch out and I would not use the EV charger while drying clothes. And I would reduce the EV charger between 20 and 30 amp depending on how much load the house is using. Some improvement I think Humsienk can do on version 2 is by adding a DC breaker for the battery connection. That would be great. As well as the bus bar and the inverter, I think they could be a little thicker. An optional improvement is by adding a breaker where the AC wires go. I'm not too concerned in my case because when my wire goes out, they go straight to a breaker anyway. This inverter been running this house since this morning and it's currently 1410 and it's doing it without any issue. I noticed the fan kicks on when the PV input go up. When it's below 2000 watt, it settle down, as well as the AC output. If it go high, the fan kicks on as well. That's it for this video. I hope it was helpful and informative. If you like this video, you might enjoy the recommended videos. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. See you in the next video.